Hey everybody, this is Mike LaPone from Symphony X and Mike LaPone's Silent Assassins, and this is SAGAS.
What's going on, everybody? This is Corbin, the Serpent Tongue Skipwith.
And this is Ren, the Berserker Marbu, and this is a very special SAGAS.
SAGAS, and we have a very special guest. If you would like to introduce yourself.
I'm Josh Freeman of There's Only One Elvis and Mowdown and DWI Clothing and everything else I can possibly get my hands on.
How you going, brother? How you going?
Oh man, just getting going, getting some coffee. Speaking of Mowdown, had to get the coffee going this morning.
Nice.
Oh man.
So I'm like a walking advertisement for myself, like all the time.
Love it.
That's perfect. Yeah. So look, we have wanted to have you on for a long time. We've been working together for a long time, and obviously me and Josh talk quite a bit, based on merch and all that shit. So it's he's not, for the fans out there watching or listening, not many people have the work ethic as Josh, and he's one of the most reliable dudes. The amount of merch that has been made, sent out, and all that, just this year alone is insane. And so yeah, thank you for everything you do behind the scenes, and thank you for joining us.
Hey, not a problem. Like, I am so stoked to be working with the two of you. Honestly, like this has been an absolute joy, and I wouldn't even do it for anybody else. Honestly, like I wouldn't put this much effort into anything else unless it was you two.
Well,
nice.
We're very honored.
Yeah. Totally.
So the reason, not just because you're a great guy, not just because you literally handle all our merch, but the third reason we have you on is because we want to talk about, which is ironic because the album is called The Balance of Everything, which kind of is you in everyday life. You are the balance of everything when it comes to your music, your personal life, your miscellaneous things such as making merch for us, such as promoting yourself. So I want to talk about this record. It just came out, and I've been on this even before it came out. I've been trying to make sure that this gets promoted every way possible, with the magazine that's coming out shortly, as you as the headliner. So it's an exciting album, and I wanted to have you on so we can talk about it.
Yeah, I'm very stoked to be talking about this because basically since it came out, I've been running and gunning. As you know, I've had a leak in my studio, which I just recently got fixed. It's been one thing after another since this EP came out, and I'm just now getting to sit down and talk about it a little more. I've had a couple interviews here and there, but like this is the one I was excited about.
Nice.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask you, Jordan, how did you get on with the leak? You got that sorted anyway. That's good.
All good. Everything was safe. Everything made it. We had like 4 days of panic mode. I was just trying to make sure everything wasn't ruined and all that stuff. But yeah, all that's taken care of. So.
Shit, man. Oh man, I know. I saw you post it. I was like, no, that's fucking.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible. Well, and a lot of people don't know because I didn't start this project till afterwards, but probably about 6, maybe 7 years ago, like we had a house fire. So I literally lost everything. And so my first reaction was like, oh no, it's happened again. Like I have to start all the way over again. And luckily it didn't get nearly that bad. So yeah, we got all that squared away. It put me in the attic for 4 days. It was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So luckily all of this literally ties into the title of the EP. It's just, one day I can be working on something and the next day I have to go be in an attic for 4 days,
That's it.
Well, I was sorry. I was gonna say. So does that mean this? The presence of this latest recoil was the opposite of a sun massacre?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Had to get
Yeah, that was
sorry, Red.
yeah. Recoil. That was definitely a recoil moment for sure. For sure.
Corbin likes to get in his odd, title puns in there.
Hey, throw them in.
No, man,
throw them in.
So
that was good.
Listen, bro, I've been wanting to ask you ever since I got to know you a while back. We've been working, side by side at different labels over the years, and it's great to be chatting to you and stuff. And our musical journeys are like sliding side by side together, which is absolutely awesome, bro. But come here, what actually got you into music? Where did the passion come from, and self-production and stuff?
Oh man, basically I've been playing guitar since I was like 12. I've been in the middle of nowhere almost my entire life. I had to learn to do something to occupy myself. So it was either video games or guitar. And as a young kid, I managed to do both. Nice. So I've been playing guitar for over half my life, just, to stay busy. And then when I got older, I actually moved away to Houston. Everybody in Houston needed drummers. So I learned drums, just to be in bands. Did that for close to 10 years. Did studio work, did live, just anything I could do drum wise. So that kind of put me in that drummer mindset for a long time. And then basically I didn't do anything when I moved back to Alabama. I got into a relationship with my now wife and kids and family and all this type of stuff. And I basically didn't touch anything until one of her friends gave me an acoustic guitar, and I hadn't touched anything in years, and I just started playing on it. And then from there, like all of it kind of came back up, and it's been a slow, steady progression ever since then. And I mentioned that the house fire, before that happened, I had just got a small little interface and was just getting back into recording because I used to record drums by myself when I was in Houston, very early primitive type home recording, and learned how to do a little bit there. But I had gotten a little interface and just started recording guitar at home and programming drums and stuff like that. And then all of that stuff got burned. So when I started building back, I was like, I'm going bigger and better, and I'm getting everything I need, and I'm just going to go for it. So that's basically kind of how I wound up here.
There's a poetic justice in there. There's some kind of it's like a beautiful, sad story. It
is. If you want to be sad, you can look at it very sadly. Yeah. But
triumphant.
Yeah. We'll go. Yeah, that's a much better word. Yeah.
Nice, brother. Nice.
It's funny because, well, not really funny, but it's interesting because you were at a crossroads between being the Batman or the Joker, and you strive right through that, and you're just like, now you're the ultimate Dark Knight. You're the ultimate Elvis.
Look, sometimes I can slip right into that Joker role if I need to. Like, it's not a far stretch.
There's a fine line, yeah.
Yeah, there's a thin line in there somewhere.
Well, for the most part, you're the Batman, and that's why it's sick. But it's so cool because I still remember writing a review for your first EP. Well, not your first, the one before this, the
Pyrite.
What?
Yeah.
And I remember just being on literally waiting on my toes for the next one since then, which is 2021. So since then, I remember when and the anticipation for this record, and making that video. I remember months ago, trying to tease your album EP, and then to have it out. Oh, it's just for me, it's been such a surreal roller coaster. Just anticipation, and because I'm a super impatient dude. So as soon as I hear about a new thing or I hear about something's coming out, I have to hear it. I have to hear it now. I have to. I have to say this album, this EP, does not disappoint. From the first track to the last track, it has this almost spiritual feel about it. It has this obviously it's awfully heavy, which is something I love. obviously, but it has, I don't know, everything just comes together so well, like kind of like a perfectly shined ball that's just round on all cylinders. If that makes sense. So tell me, so just what was the process like? So how long after you released Pyrite was this in the works?
A lot of this stuff came about during the writing process for Pyrite. So as I'm writing for Pyrite, I'll have demos. Ren can probably attest to this. Like you write something, you're like, no, this doesn't fit right now, so you kind of put it away, and then when you have free time, you kind of go back to it and you start listening to all this stuff again. And that's kind of where some of this came from. I know Stratera off of this EP came completely from scratch. I had nothing stashed away for that. Sun Massacre went through so many changes from its original inception to where it wound up. So a lot of this stuff it's kind of it's just evolving, like taking one little guitar riff and then creating something else. So a lot of this did kind of get not lumped in, but kind of came from the writing process of Pyrite, and that just kind of catapulted, this whole new direction for the EP.
Yeah,
Nice.
nah, that's awesome, right?
Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about the idea behind, there's only one Elvis, bro, because I love it, right? My father always told me that I was named after Elvis. Elvis's middle name, Aaron, or his real name, Elvis Aaron Presley.
Yep.
But ever since I was a kid, I loved Elvis, and obviously I'm a big metalhead, and I love heavy tunes. And when I seen that put together, it married so well. And I was like, that is such a sick concept. And you with the glasses and the logo and the work, everything. It's one of the most exciting themes behind a band or a solo artist that I've seen in a long time. It's so different. It's so original. I love it. But where did that even come about? Like,
so that was actually when I first started kind of recording and stuff. Me and a bunch of friends were having some drinks and stuff like that, and we got on this tangent of just, like take Prince, for instance, right? Like there's only going to be one Prince ever in history. He was the only one who could ever do what he did, right? So we just kind of steamrolled this into other things. And the last one we landed on was Elvis. And I made the joke that Elvis is going to be the only person who could steal music and make a living off of it, because he did it first and now nobody else can do it. Like, and that's it. Like, you can't go back. You can't copy that. He's already done it. That's why he's the king. That's it. He stole everybody's stuff, made a fortune off of it, and he won, and that was kind of the joke on that. So that's really where all that came from. And we also have this game, me and my wife and some friends, like anytime we hear something that's even remotely close to a band name, we just call it out. So it's like, anything, you just, Sideways drum kit. Oh, band name called it, you would just do that. And that's what happened with the whole thing. So we made that joke, and then it turned into a band name. And then I was like, well, that's what I'm using. Like, nice. it came about so organically, like I just had to use it.
Love it. Absolutely cool. I love it, man.
It's actually funny because I do that. I mean, not with my wife, but I do that to myself as well. I'll find stuff that sounds similar. Like, for example, Led Zeppelin. Oh, Greta Van Fleet. No, sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
had to release that. But
hey, they're the best Zeppelin cover band in existence.
Yeah.
Ironic, because Zeppelin is the best cover band in existence. We're just doing them twice. The best cover band of a cover band. But what made you choose the 6-track EP? Like, did you think about doing a full-fledged album, or?
I in the writing of this, like, I have a folder right now with like probably 20 tracks in it. And it's for me, it's mostly just going in and like what fits together, what makes sense at the time, what am I feeling at the time. And Pyrite was such it took a while to kind of get Pyrite up and running, and do that. And that's 10 tracks. And I didn't want to kind of go the gauntlet and not release anything for, 2-3 years. Cause it's a lot harder doing this kind of in your spare time, or when you have a moment. So that was a lot of it. And also I felt like keeping it short and sweet, honestly, get the stuff out, do what I'm doing right in the moment, write what I'm feeling in the moment and get it out and just keep it natural,
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, sick, man. I mean, like, I can totally relate to that 100%. All that. Like, I know the struggles, bro. Recording at your, in recent years, I have the 2 boys, but yourself, I was working alone for the longest time as well. And it's a lot of work to do all the mixing, mastering, producing, writing, recording, so I feel you, brother. I know.
Yeah.
But, I know myself that you're a big Jackson man. And as the people that are watching now can see a plethora of beautiful Jacksons on the wall. Yeah, bro, tell us about what guitars you used on this record.
This was the full arsenal of Jacksons behind me, actually. Nice. The 2 basses over here, all 3 Jacksons here, the 6, 7, and 8 string. And then I have a rare non-Jackson. It's this PV, it's the US PV bass. That I use with my 6 string because it's just so punk rock. Like it's all dirty and beat up and some of the knobs don't work and I love it. Like I keep that one just because it's weird and odd and I love that one. But basically when I write, it's I'll try to track something and maybe it doesn't sound right in this tuning. So I'll grab the 7 or the 8 and try it like that. And kind of go back and forth until I find something that clicks. So to me, it's not so much about the number of strings or any of that. It's how it feels while I'm playing it. Because some stuff works better on the 8 string. I need those extra strings for certain chords and things like that. Some stuff I need the low end on the 7 with a little bit of extra highs for the leads. Because I don't like to go back and forth and change tunings. I like to just be in the moment. And then the 6 is just, that's my like speed picking and stuff like that. Like I usually go with the 6 string for that.
Nice. Yeah, man. That's I mean, I was listening to the album and I was like, I could almost hear the playing, like, because I've been following your stuff for so long and I can just like, all right, that's what he's playing the 6 string here, the 8 string, that you can hear the lows. Like there are some vicious lows. Like my favorite track is Sun Massacre. I say my favorite track, but they're very close. Every other track is pretty close to my favorite track.
Yeah,
Sun Massacre, it's just sick. And talking about the lows, like the big bends, the layered bends you have at the end of that track. Oh, I love it. Like I love a nice big bend. But that actually brings me on to what I wanted to ask, because you kind of hit on that a few minutes ago. What was the writing process to that? Because that song has so much about it. It gives me like a Mastodon kind of vibe, like in some parts. And
I went full on, like every influence I have ever had, I tried to pour into this one track. It actually started with kind of the tapping thing in the intro, which to me, it's very Gojira. Just kind of this tapping with like this dissonance over the top of it. And that's really where that track started. And then as it kind of progressed, I was like, oh, why don't we put this in? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do some of that? Why don't we do any of this? And I just kind of threw everything at it. And then it got to a point where I was like, okay, now I've got too much stuff. So there was a point when I was writing that where I was like, all right, we got to start toning some of this stuff back. But I tried to keep as much of the fun stuff as possible. So the tapping, the big chords, the breakdown in the middle, The big solo at the end. There's even a bass solo kind of underneath at the end. Like all of that stuff was super fun to do. And I just kind of threw everything out the wall and then backed it off a little.
Sick. Oh man, it was so much. It was so epic, like, but it definitely deserved a bitchin' solo stamp on it.
Yeah, even writing that solo, I couldn't even tell you. I was so in the moment writing that solo, I couldn't tell you what an influence was for that. It just like I started playing and it felt right, and I was like, this is where we're going. And I think that solo probably took me 2 takes. Just because I was in it, you know, you get in that zone and I was right there and it was all working.
That's fucking badass, man. I love it. Well done.
As I was just thinking, obviously, when you're a one-man band with this, and, obviously when some people hear that, me included, it kind of gets me nervous. I'm like, I can't imagine, like, first of all, I'm the musician. Second of all, if I was, it wouldn't be by myself. Like, yeah, I can't even record SAGAS by myself. I tried once, I hated it. I always need a guest. So tell me, so in your opinion, what are the top pros and cons of being a one-man band?
Oh, this is a definitive list right here. Pros, no one can tell me what to do. No one. Like, no one has any. You can't tell me anything. I do what I want. I come in here, I can make what I want. If I want to make a rap song tomorrow, I don't care. It's my stuff. You know, I'm still going to put my spin on everything I do. It's all going to be based in some sort of heaviness. But really, I can do whatever I want. And that's the beauty of it. The con is, if it's great, it's on your shoulders. If it sucks, it's on your shoulders. And you got to promote it just the same either way. You know, like, all of the work is yours. And that's probably the downfall, is like, which, I mean, to me, I see it as a good thing. Like, if it does fail, I know it was me. It wasn't, I can't point fingers. Nobody's pointing fingers back. So to me, that's also a win. But that's pretty much the biggest con, is you have to do all of this by yourself all the time.
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, looking at the tags for this album on Bandcamp, it's like, it says new metalcore, and you just said that, that if you wanted to tomorrow, you could make a rap song. I'm just picturing, like, a Fred Durst moment, like, in your career.
Oh yeah, look, yeah. I'll do a whole Limp Bizkit trap.
There's only one.
Look, I know everyone says they're coming back. I have never abandoned Limp Bizkit, ever. That Gold Cobra album was amazing. Everyone can shut up about it. It was great. The new album is great. You guys were like, oh, I'm embarrassed about Limp Bizkit for so long, and now they're cool again. Where'd you go? You know?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to try hide the fact that I was a Bizkit fan at one point in my life. Well, actually,
everybody was.
I should probably narrow it down. I was a Roland and Break Stuff fan once in my life.
Oh, see, yeah, I started with $3 bill, y'all, like Counterfeit and the Faith cover, like all of that stuff. I've been a fan since day one.
Yeah. And lads, I have to say, like, I love synergy, anything that links up that's meant to be, right? And I swear on my gods that I was playing Take a Look Around on the guitar before the podcast. I don't know where the fuck it came out of. I just picked up like a guitar with a string missing, and that riff, the boom, 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 boom. I swear I was playing that. So whatever's going on, we're doing what we're meant to be doing.
It's working. Yeah, we're where we're supposed to be at.
Love it. But yeah, so speaking of,
sorry. I was going to say, before we switch topics to Ren, has anyone seen that footage of fucking, what's his name, fucking Violent J from the Insane Clown Posse, like, trying to drop kick Fred Durst, and like he misses?
Oh, dude. Dude, they had all of that stuff. So at one point, if I'm not mistaken, there was like ICP and Limp Bizkit and Slipknot were all just trying to fight each other, like, all the time. I have no idea what was going on. But like, if they were around each other, they were all going to start fighting each other. I have no idea.
But yeah, there's footage on YouTube of like Violent J like trying to drop kick Fred Durst live and he misses. He just left it on his back.
Just back on the ground. Yep.
Oh fucking hell! I can't stand ICP, but that's hilarious.
I must look into that. I didn't see that footage now, but they talk about covers, dude, like, and doing whatever you want. Like your version of Breed was sick as well, like, absolutely.
See, a lot of people. Look, I feel like I did really good on that, and a lot of people just skip right over it. They just go right over Breathe. I don't know why, but I enjoyed doing it, so that's all that matters.
Yeah. I love that. And when you came out with the concept and the artwork and making it your own, I thought it was brilliant with the glasses on the fish. Anybody knows the cover is like a fish. And, it was genius, man. Absolutely genius. But come here. We talk about your musicianship and all that stuff. But there's another thing that I wanted to bring up is your vocals. Like, you have like an absolute beast in your throat, man. And I love it. Like, was there a specific vocalist or a style that inspired you for this particular record?
Oh, for this stuff, a lot of like slam deathcore stuff, going back to like early Whitechapel, Suicide Silence with Eddie, because Eddie is technically better than Mitch, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Don't hate. Don't throw any hate. Just basically finding all of my favorite vocalists and just listening to them like on repeat until it like soaks in my brain, and then I think like, oh, I could probably do that, and then I give it my best shot.
Nice. No, man, honestly, like there's some stuff on this album, and I know I've been very impressed going back over the years with other stuff that you've released. But I was like, fuck, man, like just as a vocalist alone, like take out all the other talent involved in what you do. If you were just a vocalist, you would be mega talented, but then you can write and record everything and play every instrument and the whole lot. So, bro, fair play to you.
Thank you. That's honestly, since I've been doing this, like as a solo artist, I've probably gotten more praise on my vocals than I have anything else.
Yeah, right.
Like I might just want to hire a band and just be a vocalist. I don't know.
You could, man. You definitely could. Like.
Well, let me first of all just say congratulations because you're the first one on the podcast to ever offend me. So there you go.
With the Suicide Silence.
Yeah, so
I got you with the Suicide Silence.
First of all, go fuck yourself now.
Look, I will say this. I will say this in all fairness, Mitch was a better front man. Mitch could get a crowd moving. He was a great front man, but I think technically from a vocalist standpoint, Eddie's better. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, wasn't he from All Shall Perish? Wasn't that the band he was in?
All
That Remains.
it was. Yeah, I think it was them. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember listening to that band before. I remember listening to that band like separately, and then I was like, and then I heard the news. I'm like, what the fuck is he in Suicide Silence?
I can tell you this: we went to go see them on You Can't Stop Me. The first album with Eddie as the vocalist. Yeah. His highs and his lows live are just ungodly. Like everybody's all over Will Ramos, and I get it. Eddie's close, man. Eddie's close to hitting those ranges. It's amazing. I don't know how he does it, but he does it live. Like his highs were almost ear piercing, like live, and it wasn't processing. It was all him. Like it was amazing. That's why I put him in such high regard, like technically as a vocalist.
I think the reason why so many, obviously, what I say next could be completely wrong. I might just be, because I technically haven't done much research on it, but I think if I'm not mistaken, which I could be, Mitch Locker was just like a fucking, wasn't he just like a lunatic, like scene kid with not much training as a vocalist?
Oh, dude.
arguments?
Dude, none of them knew what they were doing. Like, go YouTube early Suicide Silence. It's like a train wreck. Like, they were all just like, we're doing the best we can. And for some reason, it just took off. And then they were like, oh, we need to learn everything. But no, like Mitch had such a charisma, and that made him such a great front man. Like, it's going to be hard. No one's ever going to forget it or compete with that.
Mm. Yeah, no, yeah. Like it's weird because I think Ren, I think you brought it up when we talked about them last. But it's just like you said something along the lines of the fact that like that Mitch is like a mutated scene kid gone wrong. Like, he has all the scene kid qualities, but he's just this monster of a man somehow.
Yeah. Oh, he was straight like Warped Tour, like scene kid, 100%, like poor monster on him and all that kind of, just the craziest stuff. But that's what made him such a great vocalist, like he could get a crowd moving.
Yeah.
I know he was able to connect with the kids because he was one of them, like, and
yeah.
That's it, like.
Yeah. And that's why everybody loved him. Like, he literally connected with them on a whole different plane than anybody possibly could. And that's amazing. Like, as a musician, that's what you want, But to me, I'm going to say it one more time, Eddie is still technically better.
All right. I'm gonna interject here just before we get into a big. I'm on the fence here with both of you, so I'm gonna be the mediator here.
Yeah, we need a referee.
Yeah, that's it. Blow me whistle, lads. Blow me whistle. Don't want to red cards, but come here. Right. So my favorite track, like I said, is Sun Massacre. Have you a favorite track on this album that really is, here and shit?
The Sun Massacre is at the top of the list, just hands down. That's why I didn't put it out first. I wanted it to be on the EP. Like, you have to listen to this entire thing before you get to that one. That's why I did that. Like, it's purposely at the end for a reason. No, honestly, like, Vestiges was super fun to play and write. Stratera, super fun. All of it like came together so well. Like, I really don't have a favorite other than just kind of nudging Sun Massacre up just because of the epicness of it. Like, that one was it just turned out so wonderful. So,
like, Recoil is like right there for me as well. Like, tell us the themes or what's behind that track, bro, because it's really, really good. It was just the first single, wasn't it? Am I wrong?
Yeah, that was the first track out, and that one was, so this EP in all reality is kind of like a little therapy session for me, like on the lyrical side, the vocal side. That's why I put Recoil out first, because at some point, like, not to get too heavy on the show, but at some point as an adult, I just have developed all these like massive fears about things that'll probably never happen. It's even like dumb stuff like haunted houses. A friend of mine does ghost hunting. They took me to a haunted. I'm done with haunted houses. Like, from now on for the rest of time. Like, I can't do them. I get too much anxiety. It's too much. But that's kind of like Recoil to me kind of encompasses like all of those things. Like, as an adult, you just kind of like, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? And all that anxiety that you kind of deal with every day. That was kind of a therapy session for me. And that's why I wanted that one out first. It kind of exemplifies what the EP is about.
Nice. Yeah, I can relate to that. I can totally relate to that one.
Yeah, it's
good to have. Well, that's what that's what the music is therapy for the creator and the listener. So it's it's great.
Yeah, if anyone can relate to that on the same level that I do, like, you should probably go see a therapist and probably get some medicine. Like, you should probably do that. You got problems. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like, they should have underneath the parental guidance on a record, it should say, now this can't be a substitute for, therapy or actual.
Yeah, maybe I'll take that on my next one, because I'll probably do the same thing on my next one.
Love it, bro. Love it.
You know, it's actually funny because you know, I have. Well, I mean, I've never been to a haunted house, and I never will for the same reasons you have. But
dude, it was too much. It was a lot. Like I'm still it's been like a year or 2 years. I'm still traumatized by it. It was a lot.
Fucking hell. You know, but it's interesting because you know, my fear, and it doesn't really make sense, but my fear is because, long story short, I always have to show up to my day job like an hour early every day. The company don't want me to. Yeah, they never want me to come early. Like I'm always clocking in the time I'm rostered on. So I start at 7. I'll get there at like 6:10. Clock in at 7. But I feel like if I don't come early, I'm just gonna fall behind the rest of the day, which is ridiculous because I got so much time in the day. But I wake up at 4:30 for a 7 o'clock shift. I do not need to do that, but
yeah.
So it's like I will.
No, you 100% do because you have the same thing that I do. That's like the most relatable sentence I've ever heard in my life. Like, I have an hour drive to work and I'm still an hour early. Like, it's the most ridiculous thing in the world. I have no idea why, but I have to be there early. Who knows?
Does your company or your work, like, do they like, do you have to like sign in or clock in when you start, or do they let you like clock in early?
Oh, so we have to like badge in to get into this to the job, and then like once I get ready to go to work, I just clock in and then like go to work. So yeah, I could be there all day. They wouldn't care as long as I'm not racking up hours. That's all they're worried about.
Ren, did you ever have that experience when you did have a day job?
Yeah, I was gonna say to you, I'm so jealous because I am, as Corbin knows very well, I'm fucking late for everything. Like I try, I really try. I don't know. I have a few things that holds me up, lads. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't know. And so I'd love to have that. Even though you guys think of it as a bad trait for you, it's actually really awesome. And I wish I had it because being late is so fucked up. Like,
well, I don't know if Corbin can attest to this. Because you're not a musician, you don't deal with these kind of minutia of like being in bands or dealing with things. But for me, it's I'm constantly waiting on people, and that is where my anxiety comes from. It's like I know I'm on time, and it's like now everybody else needs to hurry up. Like, come on, let's go, let's do this.
Yeah,
that's Corbin every bloody podcast, right? For me,
he's like, come on, let's go.
It's just like, you know, I'm the kind of person literally on my days off, I'll talk to my girlfriend. I'll be like, all right, what do you need done? And then I'll go to the shops at 7 a.m. I'm like, all right, get the shit done, come back. But if I'm going with her, we'll go at like 1 p.m., 2 p.m. I'm like, why?
Yeah, no, we could have had this done 5 hours ago. Like I could have gone by myself and got it done like hours ago. So
yeah, I'm so glad we can relate on that. It's a good feeling because not many people share the same sentiment as I do. So it's good to know at least someone does.
Hey, I wrote an entire song just for you.
Fucking love it. You know, so what inspired the album cover?
I had the name first. I had the name of the EP first, and then it was with any type of visual art, it's literally trying to get your brain to piece together what you need to make the thing. And that's what it was. I was like, I had a phrase, and then I was like, how do I make this look like this phrase? And it probably took about 2 months of just mixing media, just 2 different things at a time until I got to something I was like, oh, this is it. Like, and then I put the logo and the title and everything. I was like, this is perfect. And once it was done, like I've probably had that done for about a year. Like before this thing ever came out, like it was done, it was finished. I was like, at least I don't have to worry about a cover anymore.
Yeah. I mean, the cover thing, I have this thing where I'll have the cover done before I've even written the song, because it kind of like sets me up. It's like having the title of a track. Like once you have the artwork, you know exactly where you're going with it. Like, you know, and I've never heard anybody else. Yeah, you know,
you have
yeah.
You have a visual aid now, so it's like you can look at this thing and be like, "This is where I'm going." Like I don't have to worry about anything. I've already made it. I just have to get there.
Yeah, that's it. Like it's like having a, you know, it's like the manifestation things. Like I want this thing, I'm gonna have this thing, and like when you make the artwork, it's there, and it's like, right,
it's already done.
It's already done. Like, I love it. Deadly stuff, man. So come here. Before I'm sure Corbin has some interesting question to ask you outside of this, but which I don't know. I'm after setting you up there for something, maybe a fall, Corbin. I don't know. It could be triumphant, but you have a couple of seconds to come up with some amazing question. So come here. What's next on your agenda, bro? Music wise, with yourself or Modown?
So we are finishing up the Modown EP currently. That's going to be another 6-tracker. That's going to be out later this year. As far as the there's only one Elvis stuff, I have a bunch of stuff in the tank. So I might work on something, I might not. That's kind of the beauty of doing all of this, is I don't have to do anything. Nice. But if the mood hits me, like guaranteed, if I do anything else, it'll probably be a single next. And hopefully that single will motivate me enough to keep in and maybe get another EP or a full length out. And then of course, you know, with my cover songs, like I'll sneak those in just at random. Like when one keys up in my brain, I'm like, oh, I have to do this now. And that becomes like the focus for like a month. So, but yeah, that's basically, I'm actually just enjoying, not having so much work and kind of playing. And, I've been building a pedal board, that I use with Modown, and that's been super fun because I haven't been able to do that in a long time. So we've been getting real gear oriented and stuff like that. And I've actually just been enjoying like sitting down and just being a nerd again. Like I haven't done that probably since I was 12 or 13, you know, just sit down with a piece of gear and make it do all the weird sounds that I can.
Deadly, man. Absolutely great. Well, I can't wait to hear anything else that you produce. It's always good stuff, man. I can't wait to hear more. But anybody that is watching this, just for a second, I just want you to look at Josh's amazing There's Only One Elvis emblem chain.
I got pendant. The chain right there.
It's
right
absolutely
there.
Oh, I need one of those.
It was super dark this morning, so I didn't put the shades on, but they are not far from me at all times.
Nice. Good stuff.
So, since you set me up earlier, I did actually have two things in my head. I can't say they're very insightful, but the first thing was is that pendant available for merch? Because I need one.
I can send you a website, but this is a one of a kind deal right here. This is this is it. This is exclusive for me only. That's
wow.
No, I had to spoil myself. I had to go full king. That's what I had to do. Full king and just go get you know.
Yeah, well, looks amazing. And the second thing, which is even less insightful than what I just said. Curious for you and your band, There's Only One Elvis, if ever in the future you had to, for whatever reason, perform your stuff at a drag event, would you be There's Only One Elton John?
Oh no, we're going full drag Elvis. That's what we're doing. Like jumpsuit, everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going. I might even shave. Honestly, I haven't shaved in years. I might actually shave. Like. No, we're going. If I was going to do that, I'm going full bore. Like I'm going to make a complete ass out of myself. The whole nine. We're just going to go and have a good time.
Fuck yeah! Well, I'm sure the fans are so let down that that's what Ren set me up for. Those two uncomfortable questions. But actually, on to that point. And I did tell you this the week before. Because you are our guest, you get to decide what album we talk about next week.
I have you guys have no idea how much I've struggled with this. This has been a pain. But I think I got it, and this is a very formative record for me. I've been playing music for a very long time, and through fads and all these things, from new metal to gent to deathcore to all these different genres. But this one album, and I know I'm hyping it up, was literally a game changer for me. Like, it was like doing algebra and listening to music at the same time. But Meshuggah's Catch 33, and that one specific. The first time I had that, it stayed in my CD player for a year. It did not move. I didn't listen to anything else. It was to and from work. It was to practice and back. That was a pivotal album in my entire life. Like, the guitars, the drums, the vocals, everything on it was so stellar. And it was just so complex to me. I'd never heard anything like it. And that is probably one of I'm going top 3 albums of all time. As far as me as a musician, like, that's it.
Nice. Actually, before we wrap things up here, Ren, what would you say your top 3 metal albums of all time are?
Top 3 metal albums? Fuck.
Or rock metal, just in that genre.
That's such a hard question. Top 3 metal albums. Let me just look at what I've been listening to lately on Spotify. It's all Viking metal. I don't know, man. I can't do it.
What about you, Josh? Top 2, top 3. This album.
So Catch 33 is at the top of that list, or not the top, but it's in the top 3. Other than that, and I rate these as how they impacted my life. So I'm gonna go Around the Fur from the Deftones, because that to me was such a huge album. Even the playing, the writing, everything about that one was huge to me. And then other than that, I got to go with, and this is still oddly specific, but P2 from Periphery. The second Periphery album was another game changer for me. It's the same thing with Catch 33. Like, once I heard that album, I latched onto it. The solos, Spencer's vocals, the guests that they had on that album, like the guest solo, it's too much. Like, those 3 albums you could probably write a thesis on why that has made me the musician that I am today.
Nice.
All
yeah,
right.
well, you've inspired me then. So yes, definitely something Deftones-y for me anyway. But then Leviathan by Mastodon, I'd say is probably a big one for me as well. And Lamb of God, any Lamb of God album, Ashes of the Wake or whatever it's called, like, just all that stuff. You know,
yeah. Mastodon's probably the closest thing I have to a local band, like, that's national, like, worldly known. Like, they're from Atlanta. It's only 4 hours away. Like, to me, those are local boys. Like,
yeah, that's killer, man.
Well,
actually, no, go on. No, I was just gonna go on a little rant there. You go ahead, Corbin.
Oh no, I was gonna say now I'm kind of a little bit embarrassed how easy this is for me. I was hoping it was so easy for me. For me, my top 3 hasn't changed in decades, and that is Led Zeppelin 4, Black Sabbath Paranoid, and Joy Division Closer.
Oh, dude, the classics. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm basing mine solely on the fact of how much it changed how I view music. It was basically it, because, like, I love Lamb of God, but Lamb of God to me has always been there, and it's like when I heard them, it was like, oh, this is new and fresh, but it wasn't on that level of like the first time I heard Deftones or the first time I heard Meshuggah or the first time I heard Periphery. So that's kind of how I weigh them, you know. It's like that's why they're so formative to me.
Amazing. Speaking of the town that you know, Atlanta being close to you, I was in we were over playing in a place called Umeå in Sweden, and we didn't realize we were in this place. It was a guitar museum. Man, you would love it. Like it's oh man, like you know, 50s Les Paul, 60s Les Pauls, like all the Strats, everything, like literally
gorgeous.
Every single, oh man, you know what? I'll have to send you some pictures later, but there was pictures of musicians that were local, and the guy who owned the place, we ended up having a chat with him, and he was like, Meshuggah are from this town, Umeå. And I was like, what, really? Holy shit. And he goes, there's a picture on the wall of me and the guys, and they've been in here.
Amazing.
Yeah, man. So,
amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little bit tricky. I didn't know, like.
Yeah, he would have had to kick me. He would have had to kick me out of that store. I would have tried to steal that picture and everything. I'd have been a menace. Like, it'd have been a lot.
Fuck, man. Well, yeah, no, this has been, you know, like, it's so good when because, you know, not very often, no disrespect to our past guests, obviously, but, you know, whenever you have a new guest on, you know, you gotta do the whole feeling process or personality character, make sure that the rhythm's all set. But this is the first time, I think, guest wise, that, you know, we're just being all three of us. Well, hopefully, all three of us have been comfortable. You know, besides
I haven't.
Comfortable and just talking shit, you know, about the album and music in general. So no, it's been really good. We have an album to cover next week. Thank you, Josh. And
yep.
Yeah, no, this has been, I mean, I'm pretty sure we've hit over an hour by now, but this has been, time just flew on this one.
Hey, what you guys don't know is that I could do this all day.
Well, in that case, 10 hours, let's do it. No.
Yeah, let's go. Like, I got nothing else to do. Let's do it.
Definitely one day we'll have some alcohol, probably some fucking weed. We'll just talk shop, talk music.
Hey, look, if you guys want to do a marathon, like, I'm down. I got a Jaeger machine. I'll bring it down here with me. Like, we'll have a good time.
Fuck yeah. I'll definitely keep that in mind. Maybe an end of the year special edition of Sagas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be cool.
Fuck yeah. That would be sick.
So
yeah, in the meantime, to all the fans out there, obviously make sure you go support There's Only One Elvis. Make sure you go check out Motown. Check out the merch as well, the DIY clothing, obviously. And also on that note, make sure that just check out everything that Josh does, because he's an amazing guy. He's gonna send us a promo video for the merch soon. That's gonna be good.
Yes.
But yeah, very talented guy. So glad to have him on with us. And me and Ren have been spoiled on that note, because we as far as merch goes, we'd probably be useless if you weren't around. So thank you again for helping us with that.
Yes. Hey, go grab a shirt. Support these guys. Support me. Grab you a Bitchin' Solo shirt. There's more stuff coming. I'm slowly working on things. I know I've been dragging my feet on Corbin's design. It's coming. There's also an Australian store. There's a UK store. There's a US store. These guys should have all the links. We put it in the description. Just go buy something just to show love for Sagas. If you want to check my stuff out, please go do so. If not, you're not going to bother me either way. But definitely go support these guys and show them some love.
Nice.
Yeah, this has been fun, and we'll definitely catch up probably one time, hopefully towards the end of the year, and we'll do a cool little party episode.
Yeah. Well, now that we know we're operating on 3 different time zones, I think we have an idea of what we can do now.
Yeah, definitely. This has been real fun. Thank you again for. I know last week was a bit of a fuck around. And that episode for everyone is out now as well. I did it with my co-worker from my work. He's a metalhead.
Nice.
And we were just talking shop. So Great guy. Yeah, so go check that out. And in the meantime, yeah, thank you again for coming on the show, and we'll definitely be in contact probably immediately after.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right, thanks guys. I appreciate it.
I'll talk to you later.
All right,
All the
later.
best, bro. See you later.
Yes.